What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news, keep you up to date, and keep you informed with everything that the government does, because the government's always doing some underhanded stuff, and we need to know about it, right? So that's what I'm here for. I try to cover as much as I can to keep you informed as to what the government is doing, because the government, like I said, it's always doing underhanded crap, and we need to know about it. Now, sometimes I do get into the weeds on other subjects. You know, I don't always cover government stuff. Every once in a while, I'll dive into a cultural topic, and we'll kind of work that out, because it may be a slow government news day, or, you know, maybe just something else going on that I feel like talking about, that I feel like you guys might need to know about, and y'all might want to know my opinion on some of this stuff, like with Jeffrey Epstein and the whole pedophile island thing, right? Like, we just had a big drop of information recently that makes Bill Clinton look really, really, really bad, y'all. Of course, we saw the pictures, and we knew Bill Clinton went to pedophile island, or it was a speculation, right? But yeah, as of recently, that lawsuit that some of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein filed, oh man, a lot of people's names came out on that. A lot of people said, oh, Trump's name is on here. And they just ran with that, telling people, oh, well, Trump was involved in this too. But then when you look into it, you see that, oh, it was just somebody asking about, was Donald Trump here? No. Did Donald Trump ever show up to this place? No. Did you have ever any contact with Donald Trump? No. That was it. That was all, right? But we have just now, they just broke a story the other day. Let's get into it. Check this out, you guys. A data broker reportedly tracked visitors to Jeffrey Epstein's island. What? Hang on. Yeah, we want to see this data. A data broker compiled a report on the geographical movements of visitors to Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile island, culling it from mobile data that it acquired via unknown means, a new investigation by Wired revealed. The company in question, which was formerly called Near Intelligence, confirmed to Wired that it had created such a report, but refused to give details about who commissioned the report or what it was for. We all know what it was for. We want to know the specific names of this. However, we're not going to get them in this video. Sorry. But this is quite the interesting story. Let's keep going. The report involves data points sourced from mobile web traffic that appeared to reveal 166 locations throughout the U.S. where Near Intelligence infers that visitors to Little St. James Island likely lived and worked. Near Intelligence reportedly got its mobile location data from online ad exchanges, which can pick up details about mobile users through the apps on their phones. When analyzed, the data gives companies like Near Intelligence an accurate assessment of a person's geographical movements as they go about their daily activities. Now, we all know that these apps track your data location, you know, for specific things, like the Sonic app, right? Like, it tracks your data location to know which Sonic location is closest to you. So if you order something, it'll pop up with this store, it'll send the information to that store, and you go to that store. As a matter of fact, on that app, once you purchase something and you check out and do all that, you'll have a thing come up that says check in. Right? Well, if you're not at the store and you go to check in, it'll say, oops, you're not at the location. Well, how the hell do they know that? Your mobile phone data. And that's what this is apparently about. They can tell where some of these people have been. Now, I don't think we have specific individual names. I don't think that they give out that data as to specific people on this, but you give this information to investigators, and they can track that data location and find out who was going to that island. So I'm hoping that there will be an update to this, and they can figure out who these people are, and they release that information to the public, because we all want to know. And it's almost guaranteed that Bill Clinton's will be up on this. A lot of people, you know, we've seen lists of people, you know, Bill Clinton, Jay-Z, Puff Daddy, right? Which he's in a whole hell of a lot of trouble now for doing the same damn thing. I guess once Jeffrey Epstein went the way of the dinosaur, that yeah, he was addicted to that, so he started doing his own thing. But I mean, that's all alleged, right? But let's keep going. If Near Intelligence was able to methodically identify the trajectories of visitors to Epstein's secretive haven, it doesn't seem to have spent much effort protecting the data that it accumulated. That is, Wired journalists somehow stumbled upon the Epstein report, which they say had been left exposed to the open internet, Wired reported. Near Intelligence tracked devices visiting Little St. James from locations in 80 cities, crisscrossing 26 U.S. states and territories, with Florida, Massachusetts, Texas, Michigan, and New York topping the list. The coordinates point to mansions in gated communities in Michigan and Florida, homes in Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket in Massachusetts, a nightclub in Miami, and the sidewalk across the street from Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue in New York City. Now, the funny thing about that is, like I always say, when I read these stories out, I always cross-reference all the way across the board. I get the news articles from right-wing sources, left-wing sources, and supposedly unbiased sources, right? And I'll read out the stories from all of these. So every story I've read just about 3 times. And then I'll come out here and I'll talk about it. But the funny thing is, there was only one left-wing source, which was Wired, that reported on this story. A couple of centrists and a couple of right-wing. There wasn't many sources that were reporting this story. But when I read out the report from Wired, it said specifically that locations at Trump Tower, specifically at Trump Tower. The other 2 sources said across the street from Trump Tower. So, just another instance of the mainstream narrative machine, the left-wing propaganda, trying to lie to you. And they're trying to insinuate that it was Donald Trump, y'all. But as we know, that's not the case. For years, privacy advocates have warned that the data brokerage industry is a civil liberties nightmare that threatens the very basic tenets of personal digital autonomy. This story would seem to hammer that point home. Jeffrey Epstein's island is alleged to have been a secret haven for the misdeeds of the wealthy and the powerful. Yet somehow a private company found location data which, under the right circumstances, could be used to unmask the visitors to that super private island. It then seems to have sloppily left the information exposed to the internet. If Epstein's secret cabal is exposed to this kind of mediocre corporate espionage, then there truly is no place anybody can hide from the roving eye of the data brokerage industry, and I think they're correct on that. In recent years, Near Intelligence has been racked by scandal and previously filed for bankruptcy amid claims of internal malfeasance. It has since reincorporated and rebranded itself as Azera. Gizmodo reached out to Azera for comment and will update this story if it responds. A person speaking for Azera told Wired the following: Azera is committed to data privacy and responsible access to and use of location data. To this end, Azera works to track and respond to legal developments under emerging new state laws, FTC guidance, and prior enforcement examples and best practices. What the hell does that even mean? Yeah, they don't care about your data. Azera is developing procedures to protect consumers' sensitive location data. This includes working to disable all sample offering accounts created by Near. Yeah, right. These people take your data and they'll sell it to anybody and everybody. Which, you know, it's like a lot of people out there screaming about this stuff, like, oh, they're violating our privacy and all this other stuff. Well, you know, yes, they are violating your privacy in a sense, but most of this data is, they don't give out specific names with most of this data, so your anonymity still remains to you know, a certain degree. Of course, you can give it to government agencies, you know, investigators, and they can actually track and find out. Well, if the investigators can do that, so can internet sleuths, right? Hackers could easily figure out who is doing what and who is doing what where. You know, hackers can do a lot more than we'd like to think. And it's kind of scary that a lot of this data is out there. And, you know, data like this could be used to find these people and bring them to justice. However, will that happen? Y'all let me know down in the comments what you think. However, there's a lot of powerful elites that are tied up in this, and I think they have a vested interest in some of this data not getting out there. Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Jay-Z. These are powerful individuals. Jeff Bezos has been mentioned a couple of times. But, in my honest opinion, it's only a matter of time before we find out who these people are. Will it be too little too late? Probably so. For some, maybe not for others. Hopefully we get some justice in this situation, and I can't wait to report on it, you guys, because that whole Jeffrey Epstein thing has blown my freaking mind. How can some people be so depraved as to kidnap young girls, bring them to an island for older elites to abuse? You know what I mean? It just goes well beyond morals with this. This is outright evil, and the corporate press loves to cover it up. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do, right? Like the whole Bill Clinton thing. He just showed up at a fundraiser with Obama and Joe Biden, and they raised like $26 million. Bill Clinton was there. Why would you want to bring somebody that has that many allegations against them? It just blows my freaking mind that some people still look up to Bill Clinton. They either don't know about his connections with Jeffrey Epstein, or they do not care. Look at the left. The left has gone absolutely insane with trying to name like pedophiles as quote-unquote minor attractive people, and they're trying not to, you don't want to dehumanize pedophiles. Why the hell not? That's moral. That's like one of the most morally egregious things you can do, is to rob the innocence of a young person, of a child. But yet they seem to want to look past that. They seem to just throw away the morality of the situation and want us to just be sympathetic to these people. Why would you want to be sympathetic to somebody who has robbed a child of their innocence? That blows my freaking mind. That they are more worried about virtue signaling and saying, oh, we compare. Well, yeah, that's called toxic compassion, if you ask me, because then you're just allowing pedophiles to rob the innocence of a young child. And that, just like I said, you guys, blows my freaking mind. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. But it blows my freaking mind. And I am of the opinion that we need to stand up to this. We need to call these people out and say, no, that is evil. It needs to stop. And if you condone it, you're an evil person as well. But that's all I got for this one, you guys. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Will this story go somewhere? Will we ever find out the names of all these people that were tied to Jeffrey Epstein's island? Right? Will we actually bring some of these people to justice? That's what I want to know. Let me know what you think, if this will actually happen or not. That's all I got, y'all. I want to thank everybody for watching. I sure do appreciate it, you guys. Y'all are the best. But don't forget to hit that like button on your way out, and try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.